5 by 5 is the best of 25 possible subjective responses used to describe the quality of communications, specifically the signal-to-noise ratio. As receiving stations move away from an analog radio transmitting site, the signal strength decreases gradually, causing the relative noise level to increase. The signal becomes increasingly difficult to understand until it can no longer be heard as anything other than static. 5 by 5 is the best possible readability and signal strength report previously used by some radio services. Details: the term has its origins in the Q code used for commercial radio telegraph communication, and later adopted by other radio services, especially amateur radio. The first number is the answer to the question, "How do you receive me?" Typically answered with "I am receiving," where 1 is unreadable and 5 is perfect. The second number is the answer to the question, "What is the strength of my signals?" Typically answered with "The strength of your signals is." 5 by 5 inches was the answer to the QA/QSA questions to indicate the best quality signal. 5 by 5 inches being the best quality was applied to other things by analogy. The U.S. Army Radio Operator's Manual, FM 24-6 defines the report format as follows. FM 24-6 further states, readability and signal strength reports indicate the desired method of transmission and should be used in that sense. Readability and signal strength reports are not exchanged unless 3, or less, lack of any report being assumed to indicate satisfactory communications. The report example given uses military call signs and the obsolete Q code of QJS for readability instead of the current QAK. The modern equivalent of that manual is ACP 131-F, which includes these entries. In voice procedure, a transmitting station may request a report on the subjective quality of signal they are broadcasting. In the military of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization countries, and other organizations, the signal quality is reported on 2 scales, the first is for signal strength, and the second for signal clarity or readability. Both these scales range from 1 to 5, where 1 is the worst and 5 is the best. The listening station reports these numbers separated with the word by. 5 by 5 therefore means a signal that has excellent strength and perfect clarity, the most understandable signal possible. 5 by 5, by extension, has come to mean I understand you perfectly in situations other than radio communication. Further shortened forms of 5 by, 5ers, and 5ers. Post-World War II, the phrase loud and clear entered common usage with a similar meaning. The term is arguably derived from the signal quality rating systems such as shortwave's SINPO code or amateur radio's RST code. Given that this slang spans not only generations but also a spectrum of communications technologies, radio, cellular among others, and organizations, there are many interpretations in popular misuse. This reporting system is not appropriate for rating digital signal quality. This is because digital signals have fairly consistent quality as the receiver moves away from the transmitter until reaching a threshold distance. At this threshold point, sometimes called the digital cliff, the signal quality takes a severe drop and is lost. This difference in reception reduces attempts to ascertain subjective signal quality to simply asking, "Can you hear me now?" or similar. This sudden signal drop was also one of the primary arguments of analog proponents against moving to digital systems. However, the 5 bars displayed on many cell phones does directly correlate to the signal strength rating. See also, QSL card, RST code. References. External links, Ham Radio Rest Signal Reporting System for CW Operation, by Charlie Borch, W5AM, FM 24-6 Radio Operators Manual, U.S. Army 1945, p. 17-18.